Welcome back, everyone. PDP had zoned its chairmanship slot to the south and the presidential ticket reserved for aspirants from the north. So in the south, there is the southeast, southwest, and the south-south. That is the new area of contention. Some are arguing that the chairmanship zoning should be exclusive to the southwest geopolitical zone, and party members are divided over that. Well, in the meantime, the contenders have intensified their campaigns and are seeking the support of the party leaders across the region. So take a look at some of the contenders in the southwest. You look at them: Body George, Professor Tunde Adeniran, Mr. Jimmy Agbaje, former governor of Ogun State, Benga Daniel. You have others as those are possibilities of former governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Mimiko, Professor Tawhid Adedaja, and Professor Wale Oladipo. But also in the south-south, look at them. These three men are also possible contenders. Mr. Raymond Dokpesi from the south-south, Mr. Uche Secondus from the south-south, Mr. Lee Elemoke also from the south-south. Now, is it a race of the southwest against the south-south? Well, we have the chairman of the PDP. He's been talking to us from our Abuja studio. Before I take you down that lane, would you say your party has a substance or the kind of characters that can stand face-to-face with the incumbent party should, for example, the incumbent president, Muhammadu Buhari, run in 2019, considering the kind of followership that he has in the northern region of the country?
Well, what is left for our party is to make sure that we bring out a credible and competent candidate that can give the APC candidate, whether it is the current president or any other individual, a run for their money. Of course, he has followership, but followership, you know, must live and must live well. And what they've been going through in the last 2.5 years, a substantial number of them must have changed, you know, their views and position in voting APC again into power at the center and in the state. So it is really now up to us to bring out a credible and competent candidate. And I assure you and I assure Nigerians that the presidency having zoned to the north and is open to northwest, northeast, and north central, credible candidates will come up. At the end of the day, the party will make a good choice, and we are not afraid who the candidate of APC may be.
Let me quickly ask you, you were at a meeting where the president met with leaders of the APC and the PDP on the 25th of August, and he did say this, and I quote him now. He said, "Opposition does not mean hostility. Democracy means opposition and one which is vibrant but responsible." That's the meeting, that's the statement of the president when you met with him on the 25th of August. How would you describe the PDP's brand of opposition since you lost power in 2015?
Well, I concur 100% with what the president said, and personally that has been my philosophy and principle. Opposition does not mean that we should insult each other, you know, malign each other. We should talk on issues, and we should, our politicking should be issue-based, and that's what we have been trying to do. Let me give you an example. When this issue of 25 billion naira contract or whatever came up in NNPC, we made a statement, but we were fair. We did not behave unfairly as APC behaved when the alleged 20 billion was missing based on letter by the then CBN governor, where, you know, holistically, it was assumed that that money was missing and were bombarded. But our statement was that those being alleged should step aside while an independent investigation is conducted to ascertain the truth of the matter. And that's all, because we don't want to jump into judgment as to what must have happened, as they did to us when we were in power.
I mean, this is a very quick one because I needed to clarify this issue before we close the conversation here. Would you say your party is an opposition right now, considering a lot of issues are on the table? Is the opposition on the table of the PDP a dead one, or just sleeping?
No, we know how to oppose. And remember, we just came out of a major crisis, and we are trying to reconcile our party men and women. Thank God, we have succeeded largely because the crises in virtually the states, have died down. They have become united, and we now have our program that the Jerry Gana Committee and the Economic Committee recommended to the party, which we are adopting. And that will reform our party, that will invigorate our party. And of course, APC is busy opposing itself. We thank God that they are also opposing themselves. But we are also opposing with decorum, not opposing without decorum as it was done to us.
Perhaps our final conversation tonight with the chairman of the PDP. Clarify, if you may, where have you zoned the chairmanship of the PDP ahead of the elective convention in December? Southwest or South-South?
The convention zoned two positions, North and South. Presidency North, party chairmanship South. It didn't microzone. Now, the South can meet and microzone if they so wish, as the North met and last week and maintained a microzoning, which they did before the August convention in Port Harcourt. So it is actually up to the South to meet the three geopolitical zones to consider the microzoning of the position zone to the South. And if they do that, overwhelmingly, I believe party men and women will support whatever microzoning they come up with.
But as it stands right now, it looks so much like a race that is going to be a very tough one. Some members of your party, on the 4th of August, the Southern PDP caucus met and decided that it's going to go to the Southwest. Some of the issues some of the members of your party have identified that bedeviled the party was the issues of imposition and impunity. Are you afraid this might play out yet again?
There cannot be imposition and impunity. If the South microzones, I believe the North will go by what they microzone. Even if any individual chooses to go against the microzoning, he may still get some support, but I don't think such an individual will get a support that will enable such an individual to win, the election that would take place at the convention in December. And nobody is going to force anybody to vote in any particular manner. We'll make sure that the congresses to elect national delegates are transparent and the results are not tampered with. And once you don't tamper with the delegate list, there cannot be imposition, because delegates freely elected by party men and women will, in the glare of the world, freely vote for whoever they want to vote for into any of the offices to be contested for. So I assure you and I assure Nigerians that there will not be any kind of imposition of any candidate for election into any office.
Senator Hamad Makarfi, National Chairman, PDP Caretaker Committee, talking to us on the program from Abuja City. Many thanks for your presence and your time tonight on the program.